What was your aim, your target about this retrospective? What did you really wanted to do after the MoMA retrospective of
Right.
96?
Right. Well, the idea, first of all, Johns's work has not been comprehensively exhibited in the UK since 1978, because that last retrospective didn't travel here. There have been smaller, more focused shows,
Yes.
but not a large, comprehensive show of his entire career. So that's why the Royal Academy thought it was important to bring his work to London and expose a new generation to his full body of work. So at first we were going to do a retrospective, but it then seemed more important to, instead of adding 20 more years onto MoMA's retrospective, to do a show that would provide a different way for people to engage with Johns's work, where they'd still get a sense of its development over time, but would be able to focus in on the important themes that run through his work from the beginning to end.
Yeah. You speak a lot about his invention of a vocabulary, right?
About
Vocabulary.
yes. I mean, he even spoke of, developing a vocabulary, a visual vocabulary to work with. And I think while originally he focused on his iconic images of flags, targets, maps, numbers, and also some household objects,
Yes.
Studio and household objects. He then expanded to a wider range of objects and putting them together in more kind of assembling multiple objects together in one space, like the Fool's House, for example. Where there's the broom, the stretcher, the cup, the rag.
And what's the symbol of the broom, you think?
The broom, I think at that time, he was interested in the relationship of his daily life to his creative life, and how things that are used in the household one way are used in the studio in a different way. So and he was reading Wittgenstein starting in the early 60s, and really interested in Wittgenstein's thoughts about how the meaning of a word, say, is determined by its use. So the broom, for example, in the kitchen would be sweeping the floor, maybe even in the studio it could do that, but then it could also become a big paintbrush to create a mark with paint on the canvas. Or the cup could be a coffee cup, or it can be something you mix paint in. And so he started to play with that idea, the same with forks, spoons, and knives, which of course you eat with, but he also used them in the studio to make certain kinds of marks or scrape things. I think the interest in the way things are used was a very interesting idea for him to explore.